to the jurors and everybody else, thank you for your patience. Mr. Chernoff.
Sherilyn Lee, Judge.
Thank you.
Miss Lee, would you please stand in the witness box? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please be seated. Please state your name for the record. Spell your first and last names.
First name is Sherilyn, Cherilyn. Last name is Lee, Lee.
Ms. Lee, good afternoon. Let me provide you with some instructions, which I give to every witness in every case.
Yes.
The first, please sit back and relax. The second, please speak loudly so we can hear you. The third, please answer a question yes or no if called upon rather than using slang. And the last, please wait until you hear an entire question before you even start to answer it, even though you may think you know what the question asks. Is that all acceptable?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Direct, Mr. Chernoff.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Miss Lee,
Yes.
what do you do for a living?
I'm a holistic practitioner. I'm a nurse practitioner. And what I do, I have a integrated clinic where I see people and treat them on a nutritional basis.
What is a nurse practitioner, Miss Lee?
A nurse practitioner is basically you have to be an RN first, and then you become, after further education, you become a nurse practitioner.
What would be the difference in what a nurse practitioner would do than an RN?
Well, a nurse practitioner, things are sort of changing a lot in that field now, but nurse practitioners can run and operate a clinic. I do have a medical director, so we can open and operate a clinic. And mine is basically just nutrition and dealing with natural remedies and supplements.
How long have you been doing that?
Off and on for about, I guess, 15, 20 years.
Okay. And you've actually helped quite a few people during that time, haven't you?
Most definitely.
Yeah. And you work with sports people?
Exactly.
Yes. And entertainers?
Yes.
Yes. Legally, can a nurse practitioner prescribe medications?
Legally, a nurse practitioner can. I choose not to because I don't like what medication does to people, and there's usually a natural remedy for it.
How is it that a nurse practitioner can do that without a medical license? What is your understanding of your...
I am board certified.
Do you have to associate with a doctor to do that?
As a nurse practitioner?
Yes.
No.
Okay. What are the limitations in the medicines that you're able to prescribe? I mean, if you had chose to, of course. But what are the limitations?
In honesty, I don't even investigate them because I don't choose to give medication.
You have prescribed medication in the past, right?
Like, yes.
Antibiotics, for instance?
Antibiotics.
But other than controlled substances, are you able to prescribe?
No, absolutely not.
Well, it's a
Yes.
question.
It's sort of a bad
may not
question.
get the answer.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You are not allowed to prescribe controlled substances, right?
No.
Okay.
So that's correct. You're not allowed?
I'm not allowed to.
Okay.
Correct.
But other medicines you're allowed to?
Yes.
All right. During your period of time with this clinic as a nurse practitioner, and I'm going to focus on the clinic, but during this period of time that you have been running this clinic, did you have occasion to meet Michael Jackson? Did you meet Michael Jackson?
Yes, I did meet him, yes.
Okay.
Not in the clinic, but
Okay.
yes.
Where did you meet him?
I met him at his home.
How is it that you were wound up being at his home?
Well, I had a call from a dear friend of mine. Her son is one of the security for Michael Jackson.
Who
And
was it that called you?
Fahim,
Fahim Muhammad?
yes.
Okay.
May I have some water, please?
Absolutely. You want to wait a moment, or are you okay to continue?
I'd like to wait a moment and have some water.
Sure.
Okay.
Could we please, Mrs. Benson?
Can I bring a cup? Or you-
We have our own.
Okay. All right.
Give us a moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
May I sit down, Judge, then, while we wait? I also...
I was going to say, if you
Need
sit down,
something
you
to
can't
drink.
talk because we can't hear you. So that's the trade-off, you turn off.
Deal.
Mrs. Benson, Deputy Jones, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You tell us when you're ready, Ms. Lee.
I'm ready. I just need to wet my throat.
Okay.
Mr. Chernoff.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Fahim Muhammad, you said, called you?
Yes, Fahim Muhammad.
How long have you known Fahim Muhammad?
I've been knowing him for greater, I know, than 5 years. His mother's a dear friend.
Okay. And what is it that, what did Fahim Muhammad tell you that caused you to act to come to the house?
Fahim Muhammad gave me a call, and he said that Michael's children had a slight cold, and could I come to the home to see them? And I said, well, keep in mind, I'm not a pediatrician, and I'm not a physician. So he said, no, he's aware of that. I told him who you were, how you have helped so many people in the community. And he gave him a little bit about my background and the things I have done as far as health care. And so that's how I met him. And then I set an appointment, and I went to the home to see the children, and Michael was there. Mr. Jackson was there.
Could you tell us what date this was?
I can tell you it was the latter part of January of 2009.
Would your medical records help you
Yes,
remember?
and I did bring a copy of my records, and they do reflect everything that I've done. It's been noted and charted.
Okay. Well, do you have a copy of it?
Yes, I do.
Will you please tell us when you received this call?
I left it in my bag, if I can get it from my bag.
Judge, may she?
You may, please.
Thank you.
Well, we can get it to you. Oh, I thought you had it there.
I'm sorry.
It's in the back? No, we'll bring it to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't want to
I'm
put
sorry.
anybody to any extra work.
Thank you. Is that it?
Yes. Thank you for your patience.
The question is?
The date that you were called out to the house.
January. Well, can we go to the next question and I find it?
Okay.
Thank you.
How were the kids? Did they have a cold?
The kids that have,
Excuse me, I don't know if we got to the date.
No, she wanted me to go on.
Well, that's up to you.
Well,
I have the date of when I first started seeing Mr. Jackson. The date I was at the home, I think it was had to be the last date in January. Because I saw him because I went back.
Okay, so
Yeah.
January 2009?
Yes,
Okay, that's close enough.
yes.
So you went out to the house.
Yes.
Did you make an appointment, or did you go that very day?
Made an appointment because
Okay.
Mr. Jackson would definitely want an appointment made. So
Well-
an appointment was made for me,
Okay.
and I did go to the home. Yes.
So you made an appointment to go see the children?
The children, yes.
Yes, okay. Was it the next day? Was it 2 days later?
It was actually it was the same day because he said they had a cold and he wanted someone to see them right away. So,
All right. And did you go see the children?
yes, I did.
All right. Did you treat them for their cold?
Yes, I made sure I took everything with me so that I didn't know the condition of the children, so I made sure I took everything with me to do lab work and throat cultures, so I took everything with me to assess children properly.
And you did that?
I did that, yes.
At some point during that meeting with the children, did you have occasion to speak to Michael Jackson?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And this is the first time you'd ever spoken to him.
Yes.
Did you talk to him about any problems he might be having?
No. What he said was to me is, what do you do? And I said, well, you have a concern about something? And he said, I've just been tired, a little tired. And I said, well, I do nutrition and nutritional therapies. And he said, well, can you start me on some therapies? And I said, well, yes, but I don't start anyone on any therapies until I do lab work first. And so I told him I can come back the next day. He would have to fast that night from 12 midnight to the next morning. And I would come back the next day and I would draw his blood to do lab work first.
Did you come back the next day?
I certainly did.
Okay. And what day was that?
That was February 1st
Okay. February 1. This was at his
of
house?
2009, yes.
Okay. And this was at his house as well?
Yes.
All right. Well, you came back, and now you are going to discuss with him any medical complaints. You're going to take some assessment of him. Is that right?
Most definitely. If a
Okay.
person give me a vague symptom of I'm tired, then I want to rule out everything that possibly could cause that. You could be overworked. There could be many things that can cause tiredness. So that's why I said I need to do the lab work first.
All right. Now, in your assessment, what things did you do to make that assessment?
I did a physical exam. I did drew his blood, and I ordered certain panels to rule out anything that can cause a person to feel fatigued and tired.
Certain what now? Panels?
Blood tests.
Blood test. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Did you also do an interview with him?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And part of that interview was that, did you ask him about medications he was taking?
Yes. And actually, what is called not so much an interview as I did a history and physical.
Okay. And,
Yes.
and that helps you determine that maybe...
Exactly. Yes.
Remember? Got to wait. Please ask the whole
I'm
question.
sorry.
That's all right.
It helps you determine, what could be causing this fatigue or this tiredness.
Yes.
In your analysis, did you ask Michael Jackson about his sleep patterns?
Well, on February 1st of 2009, he wasn't really talking a lot about his sleep pattern.
But you did provide him a survey form, a symptom survey form,
Oh, yes.
right? Mm-hmm. And you provided him, you asked him other questions. Is
Yeah,
that
quite
right?
a few questions. I'm pretty thorough.
Yes. You have to be thorough, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the things you said he complained of when you first spoke to him was tiredness. During your examination, subsequent examination, you talked about fatigue, easily fatigued.
Yes.
All right. And in fact, part of your analysis is you asked him to list the 5 main physical complaints.
Yes, I did.
And that's part of what you do in your thorough analysis.
That's on one of my forms, yes.
And he mentioned 3 of them,
Yes.
and one of them was fatigue.
Yes.
In this analysis, did he happen to tell you of any medicines he was taking for this fatigue?
No, I noticed when I was with him, he loved to drink Red Bull, and I told him that what can cause him to really, all the caffeine can cause him to feel fatigue, especially after I got back his lab results. But I just wanted first to get a clear assessment.
Okay.
And medication, no. He said occasionally he would just take Tylenol PM, and that's in my report.
And for insomnia. Did he say it was for insomnia?
He said he would take it sometime at night. He didn't take it for pain, so he said at night he would take it.
Okay. But clearly at this time, it didn't seem to strike you as a problem, any lack
No,
of sleep.
not February 1st of 2009. It did not seem to be a problem.
One of the questions that you asked on your health questionnaire was do you have difficulty falling asleep?
Mm-hmm.
And he did say he had difficulty doing that.
Yes.
Right? And that's just one of probably 200 questions you asked, right?
Yes.
I mean, so that didn't ring any. A lot of us have trouble falling asleep, right? I mean, that didn't ring any bells for you.
It did, because he was drinking Red Bull. And because he was drinking so many high caffeinated sodas, I felt during that time, until I received all his lab result, that could be one of his problems.
The Red Bulls.
Yes, high in caffeine that will keep you awake.
Okay. Did he happen to tell you when his fatigue normally set in? Did he ever give you any kind of time?
No, we didn't
Estimate
go
of that?
through it a lot then, because he said whatever I need to do nutritionally, just tell me, so that I can start having more energy and feeling better.
Okay. That was his main concern.
Yes.
Did it appear to you from just looking at him that he seemed fatigued?
No,
He didn't. Okay.
no. Well, he thought he was anemic. That's why I ran some of the blood tests. He said, I'm tired and maybe I'm anemic, so that's why I ran all the blood tests.
Did he at any time during this first meeting with you talk about possible tours he was going to go on?
Yes.
At the
Well,
very
not in February 1st of 2009, no.
Okay. So not in the first meeting.
No.
Okay. But he did talk about training and concerts, losing water. He
Through the time I saw him, yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what he told you about that?
He said there's times that during rehearsal that he could sweat so much that he would lose 5-7 pounds sometime from just perspiration.
Did he tell you that he was rehearsing during that period of time?
Not the very first visit, but he did tell me consequently through the visits, yes.
What was your impression just from your initial consultation with him?
My impression was he was a very healthy person, a very loving person.
I mean medically.
Medically, he was very healthy. Vital signs were normal. He was very healthy.
Did you suspect any problems with him physically?
No.
Any nutritional problems?
Nutritional problems, I was waiting to determine when I received his lab results.
Okay. And you had drawn blood on the 1st of February, right?
Yes.
And you were going to send that out to get those lab reports?
Yes.
Okay. When did you send that out?
That went out when I went the same day. When I told him to fast and I went back the next day is when I drew his blood.
Okay, so it was the February 2nd you came back and withdrew his blood, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you, at that point, you told him Red Bull may be a problem, right?
Yes, and he said, whatever you tell me to do, I will stop.
All right.
I want to stay healthy.
All right. When did you next see Michael Jackson?
Let me look at my dates here. I saw him on February 3rd.
Very next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
So,
Yes.
yes. So,
Sorry.
so 4 days in a row you saw him. And
Yes.
Was he doing better?
Well, I was still waiting for his lab results, and we started some nutritional, and he said he was feeling a lot better, yes.
When did you get your lab results? Or his lab results?
I received his lab results on the 5th.
Of February.
Yes.
And when did you next see Michael Jackson?
On the 3rd, on March 3rd.
So 5 days in a row. Fifth day in a row?
No,
March 3rd.
March. Okay. What about
I'm
February?
sorry, March 9th.
That was the next time you saw him? When is that the first time you went over his blood results? Was
Well,
March?
you asked me when did I receive his lab results. I received his lab results back in February on the 5th. I
Okay.
received them.
And when did you next see Michael Jackson? Was
On March 9th,
Okay. So a month later?
yes.
Is that the very first time that you went over his lab results was March 9th?
Yes.
All right. And from February...
Let me make sure I'm clear with.
Okay, yes. Is it possible you saw him a few times before then? You want to take a look?
So on February 27th, I actually drew blood again because I wanted to see the treatment plan that he was on, how effective it had been. So it was very effective, and he was doing a lot better.
All right, and what treatment plan did you have him on?
I actually provide him with a very high concentrated smoothies that I was going in the mornings. That's why the visits were kind of close together. So he said he didn't really know how to make them, so I said I would come and make them for you. So it's a wonderful kind of sports, high-protein smoothie full of nutrition, and it's actually in my report exactly what it is and what was in it. I gave him a B12 shot, could you repeat your question again, please?
Okay, what was your treatment to help with his fatigue?
Okay.
You said smoothies, and you
Yeah.
talked about
And
B12.
it wasn't just a smoothie. This was a really sophisticated nutraceutical product that had all the nutrition in it that really helped with energy. I've used it with a lot of people in the past.
What about IVs?
His his nutritional IVs, I started him with that also. There's his initial blood work, because he had mentioned he would like to have, because I told him about the nutritional services that I provide, and one being the nutritional IV. And I said, well, it's the only way I can do that when I do your lab work, which was on the initial visit, and there's a certain blood test that a person have to have before this test or treatment is given. So I actually did his lab work, and before anyone received nutritional type of IVs, there's a blood test we have to do, and his came back normal. So I started him on very low doses of vitamin C IV therapy.
On March 3rd, 2009, did you provide him an IV?
Witness is reviewing her materials.
Sorry.
Let me change the question.
Okay.
When was the first time that you provided an IV to Michael Jackson? An IV infusion of any sort?
Well, the vitamin C IV I started very low dose in the early part of February.
Would that be February 2nd, February 3rd?
Let me just look and see, please. Yes, it was February 3rd.
Okay. A couple of days before the blood results came in?
A very low dose of vitamin C, yes.
Okay. What dose was
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry. No, he didn't receive vitamin C IV on February 3rd. He actually received glutathione on February 3rd.
What is that?
Glutathione?
Yes, ma'am.
Glutathione is an amino acid. It's about as powerful as vitamin C. And it really aids in fatigue and gives you a lot of energy also.
All right. And what dose did you provide Michael Jackson?
I provide him with 800 milligrams, which is 4 cc's.
Did you provide that with saline solution?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how long did it take for you to provide that?
It's an IV push, so it's pushed over 10 minutes.
Then on February 10th, you visited him again, is that right?
Yes.
And you provided another IV.
He said from the first one he was feeling a lot better. His energy level had increased, and we spoke about him starting he called me for the IV of vitamin C. We had discussed it earlier, and yes, I did.
And what did this IV consist of?
Well, it's entitled the Myers Cocktail, and it consists of vitamin C. It consists of B vitamin, magnesium, calcium.
And do you recall when you made these visits to Michael Jackson? Was it usually during the day, the morning, afternoon, evening?
Well, I would see him sometime in the mornings, sometime in the evenings, because he found out that this might help him to relax. And later, as time went on, I told him it could help him to relax, to sleep better at night, and then have the B12 shot in the morning to give him more energy, but along with his supplement drink.
All right. On February 16th, you came to visit him as well.
Yes.
And this is always at his house? You came to visit him at his house?
Yes.
Okay. And did you provide him any medications on the 16th? Or nutrients, I'm sorry. Did you provide any nutrients or anything to him on the 16th as treatment?
Yes, I did, but I also went over in depth his lab results first.
Okay, and this is on the 16th of February?
This is on the 16th of February of 2009.
All right. During this period of time, when you started going over his lab results, did he complain about sleep?
No, he did not. He did not complain about sleep.
Did he not say to you, it's hard to sleep through the night?
This was much later.
Would have a hard time? It wasn't February 16th, 2009? I will refer to your progress notes.
No, unless I'm overlooking it, I didn't.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
You may.
May I approach?
Most definitely. Okay. Thank you.
Did he mention to you that he was having trouble sleeping?
Yes, he did mention it.
What did he say to you?
He just said, I'm having a hard time sleeping. And I told him, really, I might not be there, but he had just barely came off all the caffeinated sodas and everything. And I told him, just give it a little time for the nutrition to work. But he didn't make it sound like it was something of urgency, just, hard time maybe going to sleep. And, I mentioned to him, too, I mean, as time went on, because there's a lot of notes here, as time went on that, let's check more into why you're not sleeping.
This is the first time, though, that you you visited him quite a bit in February already. This is the first time he's told you that he has trouble sleeping, though.
Yes.
All right. So did you, other than lay off the caffeinated drinks, the Red Bull, did you recommend any other course of treatment?
Yes. I know I would have to look. I don't remember exactly when, but we did talk about different teas that help you to sleep. And I know when I went in the evening time, I would make some of the teas for him to see if I can get him to help him to sleep a little bit better. Throughout the course leading up to, I also recommended, what he asked me, he said, I want you to see that I don't sleep well. It wasn't during this time, it was a little later.
Okay. Well, we'll get into that.
Yes, I know we will.
Okay. I'd like to go further now to March 9th. That was the next time you saw him. Is that right? March 9th?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is, he had just arrived from London.
Yes.
He had been to London on a business trip.
Yes.
Did you know that he was there to announce his O2 tour?
I saw it on. No, I didn't know.
You saw it on TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And did he call you for this trip, or did you, or who called you to come out to the house at this point?
Sustained.
How is it that you came out to his house on March 9th?
Received a call from his security.
This is Fahim as well?
I work between two securities, so I can't be exact as to which one called that.
Which two securities?
Fahim and Michael Muhammad. Fahim Muhammad and Michael.
Michael Amir
Yes.
Williams? Okay. All right. And on the 9th, he was complaining of low energy and well-being. Is that right?
When he came back, yes, said he was a little tired.
All right. And you gave him an IV?
Yeah,
Nutrient
yes.
IV.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The same Myers cocktail, the same
Myers cocktail.
glutathione?
Yes.
Okay. When was the next time that you came to see him?
The 16th, March 16th, 09.
All right. And you provided, once again, another IV of Myers cocktail and other things. Is that right?
Yes, he said he was
All
feeling
right.
a lot better with the treatment, yes.
Now, I want to direct your attention to March 26, 2009. Okay? On that date, you came out to the house at 6 a.m. Is that right?
March 26th. Yes,
6 a.m. in the morning
yes.
on March 26th. And was that an emergency appointment?
No,
It was not. Was it
No.
scheduled the day before?
it was scheduled the day before.
All right. The evening before?
I don't remember.
All right. At that time, he was complaining about the day that was ahead of him. Is that right? He was complaining about what he had to do that day. Is that right?
Yes,
And that he needed energy.
yes,
He's lacking energy. And during this, and you provided him, once again, an infusion of Myers cocktail and other nutrients, right?
yes.
During this visit, however, did he mention his trip to London?
I don't recall if it was that visit.
Did he happen to offer you the opportunity to go to London with him?
Yes.
Okay, and what did he say?
He said, I am feeling so great with the therapies that you have rendered me, and I would love for you to go with me to continue my treatment or my nutritional therapies.
Now, just 2 days before, on the 24th of March, 2009, you visited him in the evening, did you not?
Yes,
And during that visit, he told you that he couldn't sleep,
yes,
and you suggested natural sleep products.
yes, I did.
And he said that they would not work for him.
Yes, he did.
Now, I want to go to Easter Sunday, April 12th, 2009. Do you recall the conversation that you had with him on that day?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Easter Sunday is... did you make an appointment for Easter Sunday? I mean, most doctors, most nurses don't go to the house.
People that know me know that I will see them any day of the week if they need me.
Did he call you on Easter Sunday?
He had someone call me, yes.
And you went out immediately?
Yes.
All right. And on that day, April 12, 2009, can you tell us what his complaint was when you came out to see him?
He said his complaint was, I have a problem sleeping, and all the natural remedies and everything you're doing is not working. When I need sleep, I need to go to sleep right away.
Were you surprised to hear this?
Was I surprised to hear that? Well, a lot of people tell me they want to go to sleep right away. They don't want to just linger around for hours and hours. They want something to help them to sleep.
And what was your response to that comment?
When he said that, I said, let's maybe get you set up for some sleep studies, since all the natural remedies that I had recommended was not working. I had already did lab work to test for testosterone levels, because it's been noted that men who have low testosterone level can also have problems with insomnia. I offered him a company that would come in to do the sleep study at his home instead of him going to a location. And I offered him tests to do neurotransmitter tests that was left there at his house to test for the amino acid and see if there was some imbalance going on with amino acids for sleep. And he said he didn't have time for all that.
He said, no, I'm not going to do that.
He didn't have time for all that.
All right. And you came out a week later on the 19th as well. April 19th?
Yes.
And did he complain still about the inability to sleep?
Well, can I back up a tad bit?
Sure.
When he had asked me on Easter about, and actually, he asked me about, he wanted me to see that he had a hard time sleeping. He said, I have a hard time sleeping. I want you to, that was some of the evening, because he said, I want you to see that I don't sleep well. So you can be here and watch me, and you'll see that I don't sleep well.
And this is on Easter Sunday? Or is this on the 19th?
Easter Sunday was the day, no, it was the day before. I don't remember.
All right, well, let's just say that it's around that time. Did you take him up on his offer? Did you offer to watch him sleep?
Yes, I did.
Okay, tell us how that happened.
I arrived there one evening. It was late. And I said, I'm going to watch you sleep. You want to probably be tired enough so that you can fall off to sleep, and I can watch you instead of we're sitting there talking and watching movies like we normally would do together. And so he said, okay. So I went up to his room, and we talked for a few minutes. I made him some tea. He took another natural supplement. He said, I want you to see that it isn't working. And then I proceeded to watch him sleep. Him sleep.
Could you tell us what time you went up to his room?
Somewhere between 9, 10. I don't know. It was late.
It was late. Could it have been
later?
later?
It may have been 11 o'clock. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
It could have even been a little later. I'm really not sure an exact time.
Okay. How long did you stay up in his room watching him?
I stayed there watching him until 3 in the morning. And he woke up around 3, and he said, I told you I can't stay awake. I can't stay asleep.
And did you stay at his side during that period of time?
Pardon?
Did you stay at his side during that period of time?
I sat right across the bed from him and watched him every second. I asked him, are you sure you can sleep if I'm going to sit here and watch you? I mean, I've said that before, and he said, sure, I can go to sleep.
Was he hooked up to any kind of saline?
He did have an IV going, yes. He had an IV of vitamin C and the Myers cocktail. And he had already had his sleepy time tea and some other natural supplements I had given him so he could sleep.
All total, how long do you think he slept?
Well, actually, in this particular instant, giving him everything, he actually slept 5 hours.
And then what happened?
And he woke up and he said, I told you I could not sleep throughout the entire night because we did start a little early because I remember it was a total of 5 hours he did sleep. And
Mr. Chernoff, at a convenient time, let us know for purposes of the adjournment.
Probably now, under the circumstances, because of Cross.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you if you want to follow through with anything, or else we can take the adjournment, whatever's easier.
Okay, well, let me just get through this part, Judge, please, and I'll just get 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think.
Well, we'll stop at 4:10 because there are logistical issues, so.
Okay. You sat at his bedside during this period of time.
I sat at his bedside during this time.
All right. And an IV was going.
Yes.
And did you change at any point during that period of time, change out the saline?
No, it was a very low dose of vitamin C and saline, so I didn't have to change anything.
Okay, so 1,000 milliliter bag of saline.
No, it was a 250.
250.
I could check the bag because normally we would just do 150 to 250.
And this stayed in the entire time that he slept?
Most definitely.
Where was the catheter?
He had very, very small veins, and so it was always in his hand. And he would sit there and not move, and it was usually on the outer surface of the hand. So,
All right. How were his veins, besides being
his
small?
veins were very, very small. Matter of
Was it-
fact, he even made a little joke about it himself. And he said, doctors have always told me that it's hard for them to get my veins because I have squiggly veins.
Was there any other problem with his veins? Did it seem to be problematic other than being squiggly and small?
No, I have a way of using something to put on the hand that warms the hand so the veins sort of dilate. So it makes it very easy and it's less painful for the client. So he had no pain, and I use a very, very tiny butterfly, so he was fine.
In your medical records on the 19th of April, where you discuss this event, you say that he requested you to stay the night to understand his pattern of sleeping for 2 to 3 hours, then waking up.
Yes.
All right. And prior to you staying the night, did he discuss any desires he had to obtain medication?
No.
He just
that
said...
actually, all of that happened on Easter. So I had to figure out dates, because that was the date that the medication came up, and that was Easter.
Okay. And at some point when he woke up, or when he said he couldn't sleep, did he mention a medication?
On April 12th of 2009 is when he mentioned a medication. That was...
Let me stop you for just a second, Ms. Lee.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Are you sure you're not mixing up your dates? May I approach the witness?
Well, there's a question pending.
Could you be mixing up your dates? Could this be the 19th of April?
Yes.
Okay. It's 4:10, Judge.
Okay. May I see counsel for just a moment? Adjournment at this time. Ms. Lee, I want to thank you for your testimony. You may step down. You're ordered to come back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Don't discuss your testimony or the facts of the case with any other witness until the trial is over. And if you'd be kind enough to step down right now, you'll be able to come on back and retrieve your documentation as well as your briefcase, all right? Thank you. If you could just have a seat behind the prosecutors. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take the evening recess and adjournment, which means it's a time for me to deliver to you the all-important admonishments. Do not discuss any aspects of this case among yourselves or with any other person, or form or express any opinions about the case until it is submitted finally to you. Do not visit any scene or location that may have been referenced or mentioned or involved in the case. Don't perform any experiments or on your own or through another person conduct any independent research or investigation on any topics, subjects, or persons mentioned or involved in the case. Do not access or come in contact with any television or radio programs, newspaper or magazine articles, books, or the Internet regarding any of those topics, subjects, or persons. Do not, on your own or through another person, access any Internet website, including but not limited to any search engine sites such as Google, Ask, or Bing, or social network site, including but not limited to Facebook or MySpace, or text or tweet, or access any blogs, or post any messages on any blogs on any topics, subjects, or persons mentioned or involved in the case. Do not have any contact or communication whatsoever with the defendant, the attorneys, the witnesses, or spectators. If anyone communicates with you or approaches you with regard to this case, immediately cease any such encounter. Do not discuss anything with any other person, and immediately notify the court staff or security as well. Do all of you continue to accept unhesitatingly the admonishments and promises you will comply? All indicating the affirmative. You got a treat tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to ask you to come back at 9 o'clock a.m. Big deal, because we have some legal issues we have to address. The President of the United States, President Obama, is in town today, which means that the entire county of Los Angeles will be in gridlock. So take that into account today, and the President will be leaving tomorrow morning, which also will probably raise some issues of transportation. So keep tuned to any radio or television programs with regard to SIG alerts for tomorrow. We'll see all of you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and again, thanks for your continued patience. Have a good evening. Good night.